Bit of a traffic jam because some chavvers let their dog loose in the street. Still not on a lead. Oh yes. No problem oversleeping policeman. Yeah, it really does handle the bumps nicely. Feels very soft. But this particular model, being the R-Line, has a sport suspension as well, so I expect you can get softer models, but even with the sport suspension, it's still pretty good. So the 0 to 60 time, not that it's really relevant on a car like this, but if you're interested, it's about 7.8 seconds. So not going to set your pants on fire, but it's enough, isn't it? Let's face it. I've got to admit, this is a smaller car than the Jaguar XJ in my last video, but it feels bigger. It really does. I didn't think that would be the case, especially sat up higher, but it does feel bigger. There's very little body roll, that is for sure. In a lot of SUVs you do get a bit of, you know, body roll as you're going through the corners, but this is pretty good. But then it is supposed to have one of the firmest chassis in the SUV market. I can vouch for that, I think. This particular car is a 2014 model. It was actually facelifted in 2015, but they changed very little really. Just the lights, side by side, yeah, you can tell the differences in the front bumpers and things like that, but overall very little change. It was a token facelift if you ask me. The big change was when this first came out. I think it was 2013. Which was a big improvement over the first generation. You don't really notice it change up and down gears, especially down. It is very seamless. Apparently Volkswagen shaved 200 kilograms off the weight of this thing with the Generation 2, which is a lot when you think about it. It's the weight of a full motorcycle just stuck on the back, but less of a shave really, more of a decapitation. I've not driven the Generation 1 to compare, but the wheelbase of the Generation 2 is also 40mm longer, so the length of the car hasn't really changed much, but the wheelbase has. What that does is give you a bit more room in the cabin, I expect in the rear mostly. Rear visibility is fantastic. It really is so good. I mean, there's just glass everywhere. It does make reversing really very easy. It doesn't have the reversing camera that a lot of cars of this class now have, but I don't think you really need it. With the sensors that you have and that visibility, you don't need the camera. The exterior styling wasn't a huge leap forward in design, but the updates brought it in line with the rest of the Volkswagen range at the time. So I have to admit, it looks pretty smart. I love the chrome strip down the bottom of the doors. It really sets off the white in this car nicely. It may be based on a Porsche Cayenne, but it's much better looking if you ask me, especially from the front. It's a nice addition to the exterior is the bi-xenon lights. They not only look great, but the curve lighting enables better vision when cornering at night. The interior is fairly nice. I like the seat designs and they are very comfortable. The dashboard is not exactly something to behold, but it's clean and tidy. It's not fussy at all. There's an 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, which is pretty intuitive to use actually. So as this is the R line, you do get a panoramic sunroof, heated steering wheel, you get 20-inch alloy wheels, and a bit of styling to the bumpers. So this R line model was about £46,000 when it was new. Resale values are pretty good actually. They do hold the value, not quite as much as an X5, but this one with low mileage is worth about 45% of its original value. So it's 4.5 years old now, so that's not bad. Like I say, X5s have held the value a bit more, so if you have your budget, you're gonna get a bit less with an X5, either a bit older or a bit lower spec. So I think value wise this is a better buy, simply because you get more for your money and you don't have to worry about depreciation either, because it's pretty good. I mean, it's a Volkswagen at the end of the day. I'm sure they've taken a bit of a knock after the whole emissions scandal, but they do still hold the value as they have done. So fuel efficiency is debatable. If you listen to Volkswagen, it's around about 40 miles to the gallon combined, but from most of the reports I've seen, it's more like the low 30s. So don't expect to be getting 40 miles to the gallon from this. It's just not going to happen. So it has a luggage capacity of 580 litres, which is something that will probably be important to the sorts of people that buy this car. You can expand that to nearly 1600 litres by folding the rear seats down. So a lot of people will expect a car like this to have 7 seats, but Touareg is 5-seat only. They do the Tiguan, which is actually slightly smaller in a 7-seat variety, so that's probably going to appeal to the school moms a little more than this. But all in all, it's a very practical car. I can see how it appeals to the caravanning community. It's certainly powerful enough to tow, looks the part, drives well, has a decent level of tech. It's all that you could want really. So it's got an 85 litre fuel tank, which will cost you in today's market about 600 quid to fill. I do exaggerate from time to time. It's probably not 600 quid. It's more like 110 quick math, so about 130 pence a litre. So I should probably get this back to its owner. I have borrowed this from a private individual. So if you want more from Motorshed, I will be at the Goodwood Festival of Speed this weekend, so look out for more videos from me in the next few days. Looks to be a good event this year, as it always is. So that's it for the 2014 Volkswagen Touareg R-Line. Please subscribe, check out for more videos. Ta-ta.